The bridge. For many years, two brothers had lived together on a farm they had inherited from their father. One day, due to a small misunderstanding, they argued, and after a few weeks of silence, their differences grew. Things got to the point where they separated from each other. Coincidentally, one morning, someone knocked on the door of the older brother's house. When he opened the door, he saw a carpenter. The carpenter said, "I've been looking for work for a few days and thought maybe you might have some odd jobs around the house and farm." The older brother replied, "Yes, actually, I do have some work. Look at that river in the middle of the farm. That neighbor is actually my younger brother. He hired several people last week to dig a river in the middle of the farm and thus separate us. He must have done this out of the grudge he holds against me." Then he pointed to the farm's barn and said, "I have some wood in the barn. I want you to build a fence between my farm and my brother's so that I don't have to see him anymore." The carpenter began to measure and saw the wood. The older brother said to the carpenter, "I'm going to town to do some shopping. Is there anything you need me to buy for you?" The carpenter, while busy working, replied, "No, I don't need anything." When the farmer returned to the farm at dusk, his eyes widened in surprise. There was no fence. Instead of a fence, the carpenter had built a bridge over the river. The farmer angrily said to the carpenter, "Didn't I tell you to build a fence for me?" At that moment, the younger brother arrived, and seeing the bridge, thought that his older brother had ordered it to be built. He crossed the bridge and hugged his older brother and apologized to him for digging the river. When the older brother returned, he saw the carpenter putting his toolbox on his shoulder and was about to leave. The farmer went to him and, after thanking him, asked him to stay as a guest of him and his brother for a few days. The carpenter said, "I would like to stay, but there are many bridges that I have to build." Moral of the story: let's strengthen the chains of love between each other. Let us be a bridge for others to connect. Let us facilitate reconciliation between others rather than being firewood in the fire of their enmity.